Hello everybody, this is your boy the Almighty Green Talents coming to you with a video. Before I get right into the video, don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Please smash the likes. Please do it by all means necessary. And when you are done viewing the video, please go back and share the video. Also, do what needs to be done to help your boy out to get his videos certainly off social media, YouTube, and all over the land as much as possible. So before I get right into it, I'm gonna let you people know this about the Philadelphia Eagles and what they're doing now since the off season has begun. 3 weeks ago, after the Super Bowl has come to an end, college football is gone as well, but I'm not going to discuss college football. This is about the Philadelphia Eagles and the NFL, as I make my video mostly about. So let's go ahead and begin. The Eagles back here several weeks ago was at the Senior Bowl, and they have interviewed a young linebacker from Texas A&M. The guy's name is Adrian Cooper, who the Eagles have interest in. I'm not exactly sure if the Eagles are going to get this guy in the first round, but it's a possibility if he lasts through the second round, they could get this linebacker. Because the Eagles need linebacker help. We all know that. They need secondary help. They need a corner opposite Darius Slay, who has at least one more year left in the NFL because of his predictions early in the, late in the season. The late of last season, he predicted that he don't have long in the NFL, which he doesn't, cause Darius Slade, I think he's 30 years old already. He'll be 31 this year. So he's going through what they call the wrong side of 30. To most NFL analysts have said in the past, and he has begun to slow down, and it was self-evident last season that passed. But anyway, Adrian Cooper, he's a 6'3" linebacker, 230 or 40 pounds from Texas A&M. These are the type of linebackers I like. I like linebackers with size, speed, and strength. I don't pretty much don't care for linebackers 6'1" or shorter. And the Eagles are also looking at Jeremiah Trotter's son, Trot Jr. from Clemson. He also viewing him, but Trot Jr. is about 6 feet or 6'1". He is a smallish linebacker, kind of almost similar to Nakobe Dean, which I'm going to talk about later in this video. Linebacker help is pretty much needed for this team because Vic Fangio, who is the new Eagles defensive coordinator, predicates linebacker play, and we had a very distasteful unit of linebackers this season, with the defensive coordinator putting the linebackers in places where they shouldn't be, or should I say in places to make plays, which was lack of there this season. We have had Nick Morrow, who is not no coverage linebacker. That guy most of the season had played coverage, and teams on offense have took full advantage of that call. See, I stated many times that Nick Morrow is not a coverage linebacker. He's your downhill linebacker that tackles in the open field of play. He can't go sideline to sideline and make tackles. That's not his forte. He's a straightforward linebacker. The Eagles used him pretty good early in the season. We had 3 sacks, less than 50 sacks, less than 50 tackles, I believe. But after the bye week came to an end, they started putting this man in zone coverage, and that's not his forte. That's one of the reasons why the Eagles fan base do not like him, because it's not his fault. It's not his fault. You blame the defensive coordinator for that. So to all the fan base out there who has issue with Nick Morrow, you can go and suck it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just sad that this Eagles defensive side of football had put that guy in places where he couldn't make plays. when you got linebackers like that can't coverage, you supposed to use the best of your ability, and they are to tackle in short situations. What I mean is that they can tackle a running back left and linebacker going middle, and a running back going right. But if the running back is catching a screen play over the middle, he can't tackle like that. He can only tackle if he's on the left side or the right side. He can make a tackle going that way or going that way. And that's not zone coverage. Zone coverage is putting him back further to where a point where if a running back or tight end does come over to that side, he has to make a tackle where he always normally miss tackles. He is not an in space coverage linebacker. So now the Eagles this season got to look for linebackers this offseason. There's been talks of Patrick Queen being a free agent this offseason. I expect the Baltimore Ravens to put the franchise tag on him and probably try to talk a contract with him or to trade him for a second or first or second round pick for him. Because Patrick Queen is a first round pick linebacker, and so he has the size I convey. He's 6'3", 235, 40-pound linebacker himself. He has speed. Now he can cover. A lot. He can cover a running back or a tight end coming over the middle field because he has the speed to do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's a possibility the Eagles could chase him this off season because free agency begins next month, which is March the 11th, I believe. I think that's when the free agency began. But before that, though, I think the week before that is the NFL tampering period, which means that teams, if they like a player that much, they would call it's called offer, a contract offer. So teams can offer players contracts, and players can either agree or they can wait to see what other teams are going to offer as that concern. So much going on with the Philadelphia Eagles front office now. There have been some changes on the defensive side of the coaching staff. They don't bought in. Like I said, they bought in Vic Fangio. They don't bought in some more guys on defense that's unheard of. They also bought in a couple of guys on offense. You know what I'm saying? They decided to make Aaron Moorhead the wide receiver coach, and a lot of Eagle fans don't like that, but Kellen Moore decided he wanted to keep him. And in my opinion, I think Aaron Moorhead did pretty well with the wide receivers that we had. It wasn't his fault that the wide receivers was messing up. It wasn't his fault. You put the product you develop on the field, and so when the Eagles a couple of years ago traded for AJ Brown was already developed, so it wasn't no need there, but. And could be said, and the same could be said for Smitty. And Smitty came from the college level. He came to the NFL. He was ready to start. He was ready to start. So Aaron Moorhead really didn't have really much to do other than to get the other receivers on the same page as those two. And so far the Eagles have had bad luck in that category because I forgot that boy's name. He was a draft pick. He was homegrown. I can't think of his name for all the money in the world, but he's a short receiver. He had speed receiver, had the ability to break open downfield. He had the speed to actually take top over defense, but he wasn't prepared the last couple of seasons. So, I mean, the receiving core is mediocre at best, if not for AJ and Smitty. The Eagles in this draft are going to have to get some receivers that's ready to go right now. The Eagles need a wide receiver 3 to play the slot, and the Eagles can either sign one or they can draft one. I'd rather draft one because it's cheaper. If you bring in a veteran slot receiver, you know what I'm saying, then you got to pay out maybe between $5 to $10 million over a 3 or 4 year contract. The Eagles brought in Zacchaeus, whatever his name is. I'm gonna say wide receiver Z. They brought him in from the Falcons, and he did okay because he only had 2 touchdown passes and had no more than 200 or 300 yards receiving on between 10 to 15 catches. So and that's a hole. He might have had less than 15 catches. All I know is he didn't. The Eagles did not use him well, so he's a free agent, and he not expect to come back as well. So the Eagles gonna have a short wide receiving crew. They got to rebuild the wide receiving unit because, like I said, the Eagles need at least 4 wide receivers that can go out on the field and ready to take advantage of that. And also, the Eagles need another tight end. We need someone opposite Goddard because the 2 tight ends that we had, the one they traded from the Broncos didn't do much in the season. They didn't even use him, and then Calcaterra, I think that's his name, a draft pick a few years ago, didn't do much. So the Eagles is probably going to release 1 or 2 of those tight ends this offseason. And we need to draft one. I would like for them to get that Bowers boy from the University of Georgia, but he predicted to go between 10 and 15 in this coming draft. And he is a legitimate first round pick tight end. And he's ready to go. The Eagles could move up to get him, or they can stay put and get a tight end. You know what I'm saying? Cause I think in 2 or 3 tight ends in this year's draft is coming out ready to roll. We spoke on linebackers already. The offensive line, the Eagles finna lose a couple of offensive linemen. They probably finna lose Opeta, and they probably gonna lose Jack Driscoll too. And Jack Driscoll is 26 years old. He is more likely to leave via free agency because the fact is he want to go and make more money and become a starter on another team. And then Opella is the same way. Opella also a 3rd year offensive lineman. He more likely to leave as well for more money. So the Eagles are going to get 3 or 4 offensive linemen in this coming draft and hope that of the 4, 2 of them is ready to roll. It ain't gonna be up to Stout. It ain't gonna be up to Jeff Stoutland to get the rookies, draft picks, and the rookie free agents offensive linemen to get going, because we're gonna need help on the offensive line of football. And the Eagles probably gonna draft another running back if they're not able to sign DeAndre Swift back. And Swift had 1,000 yards this year, which is the first of his career. He gonna be 26 this coming season. He was 25 last season. This season he's gonna be 26 years old. So he's gonna command a big payday. He's looking at between 10 and 12 million per year. And would the Eagles bring him back on a bargain deal? That remains to be seen at this moment. The defensive line. Now, Jalen Collar was on a hot streak the beginning of the year. He kind of cooled down after the Bills game. When he played the Bills, he kind of worn down after the Bills game, and then a lot of offensive linemen started doubling and triple teaming him because of his ability to shed blockers and get to the quarterback or to the running game. He had 6 sacks this season, and he was on pace to catch 8, but he hit the rookie wall, and that kind of slowed down his momentum for Rookie of the Year, which went to none other than the boy from University of Alabama who now with the Texans. He took the Defensive Rookie of the Year award, and Carter got snubbed for that. And the Eagles have not had a defensive rookie of the year since Reggie White. Reggie White was the last rookie of the year award winner. He was the last, and that's really, really sad because he won't be a rookie next year. Jay Carter will not be rookie next year. He's going to his 2nd year, which make him a veteran. And now we got to think about Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis started off real well at the beginning of the season. He had 2.5. He finished with 2.5 sacks, possibly 3. I think he had 1 sack that was called back against him on defense. He would have had 3, but he had 1 called back against him this season. He slowed down a little bit this year, and at first I thought he was in good shape. He came in 242 pounds. This season is going to be a make or break year for him this season, because he's going to have to get back on track and get ready to roll, because they're going to need him, because we're going to know if Fletcher Cox going to come back, and we're going to know if Brandon Graham going to come back. It's been words now saying that Fletcher Cox is looking to join another team if the Eagles do not bring him back this season. Cause last year he had 14 million, and the year before he had 16 million, both 1-year deals. Although if the Eagles is able to afford him on another 1-year basis, because if we do, he might command 14 or 15 million again. Only going to have enough money for that, so he might not be back this year. So it'll be up to Jordan Davis and Jordan Carter. It'll be up to Jordan Davis and Jaden Carter to step their game up this coming year, 2024, because a lot is riding on the defensive line, especially Jordan Davis, because he was expected to have a breakout year this year. He was expected to, but he had some breaks this year to a point where he started slowing down, and they kind of caught him a little bit. So I'm hoping that this year will be a different year for him this year, because he needs to come in full shape. He needs to be at least 325 or 330. He needs to be. He needs to be actually really, really slim in this coming season. So I'm hoping that he lose the weight, because if not, it gonna be he gonna get what you call a bust label, because see, next, like I said, next year gonna be a make or break year for him. And if he has a good year next year, then the Eagles will give him the 5th-year option. But if he don't break, but if he don't get him, but if he next year, if he don't do according to his draft status, the Eagles will not okay his 5th-year option. They will not. And then he gonna be forced to play on a 4-year contract. And then when he has a breakout season, he gonna command a lot of money. The Eagle might slap the franchise tag on him after this season comes to an end, if he has a great year. But it's gonna depend on his make or break. 2024 will be a make or break year for Jordan Carter. Now, we discussed the linebackers, we discussed the safeties and the defensive backs as a whole. Now, let's talk about the coaching staff. The Eagles brought in Kellen Moore. Now, Kellen Moore has bounced around the NFL, particularly for the Dallas Cowboys, which is where his offensive coaching begun. He was a starter in the NFL. He was a draft pick by the Cowboys, I believe, or might have been another team before. I think he bounced around before he became a Cowboys player, and then he retired and he became an offensive assistant, and he started up and coming into the role, and he did extraordinarily well with the Cowboys, running and passing the football. But it's been questions about him calling run plays. He want to pass more than run. I hope that won't be the case. I hope this year that he do more run than pass. The Eagles, we as fan base want to see the run. The Eagles last year abandoned the run last year. When they did run, they ran in the second half of the game. And I'm surprised that DeAndre Swift had 1,000 yards receiving, 1,000 yards rushing this year. I'm really surprised, considering the lack of touches he had per game all last season. I'm surprised. So Kellen Moore, the new offensive coordinator, he's supposed to be this quarterback genius. So we'll see how that works out. We're gonna see how will he do with calling plays and getting the plays in the ear of Hurts, because Hurts this year regressed. I really didn't want to say that, but I think he did regress, because he had 38,000 yards, 3,800 yards passing. He was on pace to get for 4,000 yards, but he had some games where he had thrown for under 200 yards this season. I think he only got 2 300-yard passing games this season. Majority of them have been between 240, 250, 270, 270, and then some fell under 250 yards passing. So that hurt him this year. And then he had 20 turnovers. He had 15 picks, 5 fumbles, and threw for, I think, between 28 and 30 touchdowns. But even when you look at it, it was a bad year for him. So that's where the bad play calling comes. I'm hoping then like I said, I spoke of Aaron Moore, they decided to keep Aaron Moore here. Most of the Eagles offensive staff is still intact, but Kellen Moore did bring some guys. I can't mention the guys off the back who the coaching staff is. I think he brought in 2 guys that's going to help him call the plays. Now defense, the Eagles brought in Vic Fangio, who is the creator of this type of defensive schemes that we as Eagle fan base don't like. So we hope that this defensive scheme he bringing in can get to the passer, get to the quarterback, cover in these zone coverages. You know what I'm saying? And hoping that he helped. And then he also brought in a new DB coach. He won the DB coach from Seattle, but Seattle decided to keep that DB coach and made him. They gave him 2 positions, but we did get that defensive lines coach who come to the Philadelphia Eagles to help the defensive line. Have y'all seen that dude? That dude is enormous. He is a big 6'3", 6'4" defensive line coach. I think he's gonna do real well with the defensive line. Get the guys prepped and ready to rock on game day. Like I said, Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter got to be on point this year because there's no guarantee that Fletcher Cox will be back. There's no guarantees on that. If he don't come back, that means he's going to another team for more money. And he's already asking about Pittsburgh. It's a good chance he could go to Pittsburgh on a 1-year deal. Don't want to see him go, but it's a possibility he could leave. Like I said, they signed a new DB coach. I forgot where he came from. I think he came from Seattle. I think he came from either San Diego or he came from some other team in the AFC. They brought him in. The Eagles are still filling their defensive staff because they're looking at Brandon Staley. Brandon Staley is a former defensive coordinator who rose up the ranks to become head coach of the San Diego Chargers. He just got fired recently, and they brought in Jim Harbaugh from Michigan. If you guys remember, Jim Harbaugh coached the 49ers. In fact, he the reason why the 49ers were good because of his quarterback friendly approach on offense. He runs a predicated, very good predicated offense, and now he with the San Diego Chargers, and now he gonna coach Hubert. You know what I'm saying? And it's a good chance the Chargers in the next 3 or 4 years could be in the playoffs because he did sign a 6-year deal with the Chargers to be that coach. So I expect in year 2, maybe year 2 or year 3, you might see Chargers in the Super Bowl. It's a good possibility you could, because Jim Harbaugh is that good of a coach. He did real well with Michigan. He was in Michigan for 7 years, and he made Michigan a dominant college program. And in fact, that's where he came from. He played University of Michigan, so he went home to coach Michigan and coach Michigan to the national championship. The guy has winning pedigree. Matter of fact, he has 100 and some wins at the college level. So imagine what he can do at the NFL level on his second stint. So, I mean, a lot to be said about this Eagles and this Eagles team. I think I said enough about Philadelphia right now. If there's anything that I didn't mention, please come in the comment section below. Also, if I said anything in this video that caught your attention on what I said, and what the Eagles need offensively, defensively, the coaches, the linebacking situation, defensive line situation, DB situation, the offensive line situation, and the quarterback. And I mentioned the running back too. The Eagles need another running back because I forgot to mention that the running back rotation. The Eagles need another running back because there's no guarantee that DeAndre Swift will be back. It's a good chance he won't be back. So the Eagles are going to either bring in a running back or they're going to have to get one in the draft. And I don't know if there's many in the draft the Eagles can actually look at and consider a legitimate running back. So the Eagles, because see, here's the thing: DeAndre Swift became a Pro Bowler, All Pro, in his first year as an Eagle to become a legitimate running back. And so now with him going over 1,000 yards rushing, some team he gonna be some team gonna be looking at him and he gonna become a hot commodity when March 11 gets here. He gonna be a hot commodity. The Eagles can do two things. He can sign him to a 3-year deal, or they could put the franchise tag on him and trade him. They could do that as well. So a lot of people look at the running back thing, but if they franchise him, they can trade him, or they could talk, or they can get contract talks with him and see that they can get in a reasonable deal on a contract. Because he's looking at between 10 to 12 million a season. He's looking at that, and I think he's worth that. But the question is, will the Eagles pay him that? That's gonna be the question right there. All I know is it's going to have to be a friendly deal. But here's the thing. It's one position that the Eagles haven't had since Andy Reid left. And that's the fullback position. To me, the Eagles need a fullback. And there's only two teams in the NFL that they use the fullback. That's the 49ers, and you see how well they used him, and the Green Bay Packers used one. The same fullback that's with the 49ers was with Green Bay a few years ago. And Green Bay got another running back. I mean, they got another fullback. I forgot who the boy name, but I can't think of that dude's name. But they got another fullback. I know the only two teams that use in the NFL use fullback. The Eagles need to consider using the fullback. They need to consider drafting a fullback, because I don't know if there's any fullback in the league as far as the ones with the 49ers and Green Bay. I can't think off the top of my head as any fullback that's going to be a free agent or any team using the fullback for that matter. So the Eagles might have to draft one. I would rather they draft one, because the Eagles had 3 fullbacks I can remember. They had actually more than that, but I can't go that far back in the 80s. I only can go to the 90s, late 80s into the 90s. That they had Kevin Turner, who was the fullback with the Patriots, became with the Eagles. Then the Eagles had with the boy, and a lot of people forgot about Kevin Turner. They forgot about him. I haven't. Then they had this Lawrence. I forgot their boy named Lawrence. I can't think of his name, but he's an Andy Reid fullback. He played with the Seattle Seahawks. The Eagles brought him in from Seattle. He was a running fullback, and he was a running fullback, and he was a fullback / running back. He had a career-ending knee injury in his career, and he had not been back with the Eagles since then. And then we had the fullback from the Raiders. The guy, I forgot the guy name. This guy had he cut his head. He had the bit to cut his head and he bleed. I call him the bleeding fullback. The Eagles had him, and the Eagles also drafted a fullback. I forgot that boy's name. The Eagles had 4 fullbacks, as far as I can remember. But I can go back and forth. Kevin Turner. I can begin with Kevin Turner. And since Andy Reid left, we've had 3 coaches. Chip Kelly, then fullback. Doug Peterson, then fullback. And now because this coach here, Nick Sirianni, in the last couple of seasons hasn't used no fullback. So to me, the fullback needs to be a legit considered this season. You need to draft a fullback. I think a fullback would be of much help being a blocker. If the Eagles need to go what they call with full coverage, or should I say mat protection, you got your fullback that can block off the back. You got your fullback that can block. So I'm hoping the Eagles are looking at this. But anyway, let me go ahead and end the video. I think I said enough. Because I'm going over 29 minutes. I need to go ahead and end it before it gets to when it gets 30 minutes, I'm going to split the video in half, so I won't do that. But anyway, you guys enjoy your Tuesday. Let me know what you think at the bottom of the video about anything I said on offense, defense, the coaches, the front office. Talk about it in the video below. And I am out of here. Peace. Enjoy.